Hey guys, so I wanted to talk to you about my favorite cloth diapering method and why. Of course, this really depends on circumstances, so this is just based on my circumstances, what I found works best for me and my preferences. And that is quite simply prefolds and covers. I was actually very surprised because when I first looked into cloth diapers, prefolds really kind of freaked me out a little bit, a lot like flats did. But pins also really freaked me out, and when I realized that there were snappies, that solved that problem. And then when I actually gave prefolds a try, they proved to be a whole lot easier to use than I thought. I very quickly fell in love with them because my son was a very heavy wetter and he needed the extra absorbency, and they were really easy to figure out how to use. Within one day I felt like the queen of prefolds. I was like, I got this nailed down. So it was really awesome. One big deterrence for me about using prefolds was all of the different sizes out there for prefolds, and I didn't want to invest in a whole bunch of different sizes. But when I realized that more modern cloth diaper prefolds are kind of square and they're about 12 by 13 when they're prepped, that means that they're perfect for laying inside most one size covers. They lay in there perfectly pad folded. So when I realized that, I thought, okay, so when he outgrows the waist, maybe then I can just lay it in to his cover and use it that way. And that actually proved to be very true and very easy. So I have tried. Now, of course, I didn't use exclusively prefolds because I've tried about every brand and style I could get my hands on to see what worked best for us. And I would sample things for like 3 days to a week or so and just here and there and grab some things and see how they work. You know, you can test drive diapers nowadays, which is pretty cool. And so I would give things a try and see how it worked out and whether or not I liked it. So first thing I tried was pocket diapers. I used it for this one. So I figured, oh, well, it's easy for her. Sure, it's got to be easy for the sir. No, it was not. Stuffing 6 pocket diapers with each load of laundry, easy, not a bother. Stuffing like 20, that's annoying. No. Very quickly got old, very quickly got tired of it, very quickly said, nope, back to prefolds I went. And then the flats and hand washing challenge showed up, and I tried flats, and I actually loved flats. Their trimness is astounding, their absorbency is just as well, and they were surprisingly easy to use. They were definitely a lot more intimidating than they were difficult to use. I would say that they were about as easy to use as they were intimidating. So I used flats for a while, but then after about a month I thought, flats are great for especially when the weather gets real bad, and I know that the prefolds might take longer to dry because I line dry my clothes, and it's like, well, they're handy for those instances where they're necessary, but for the most part, prefolds are easier. They save me about 5 minutes of folding time. I timed it. They saved me about 5 minutes of folding time with each load of laundry because I pre-folded all of my flats so that I wouldn't have to fold them as I go, because that makes me want to rip my hair out. And I ended up back at prefolds again. So I tried all-in-twos. The buttons covers that I have Best Bobs. I've also tried the Grovia hybrids. I've tried those inserts snapped in. None of them were ever absorbent enough, even when doubled up. He just out-wet them like crazy. Even if he didn't out-wet them, I found the shell was so saturated it was not usable again, and I felt like I was just doing some modified all-in-one system. Like, I didn't like it. Not absorbent enough, and then the inserts took forever to dry. Because again, I line dry. It's just those inserts did not want to dry. Prefolds dried quicker than the inserts. I'm still trying to figure that one out. So, especially the Grovia ones, because they have the POL on them, and that makes it take even longer. So back to prefolds I went for a while, and then I stocked up on a couple all-in-ones. I gave the various different all-in-ones a try. I believe all-in-ones have their place, and they're useful and they're handy, and I like the convenience of them for certain applications. But for the everyday standard use, that was also a big flop for me. Trying to put those things, it's like trying to figure out some complicated yoga pose, trying to put those things up on a line, because you have to be mindful of the elastics. When you hang a diaper cover, you can just drape it in half and it'll be fine because they're practically weightless. But when you have something with like absorbency in the insert or flaps hanging off of it and things like that, if you just hang it up on a line willy-nilly, you can put a lot of wear on those elastics. They'll relax really quick because they are being stretched at from the weight of the diaper. So I had to be very careful how I hung them up, and I didn't like the kind of extreme tediousness of trying to get them up, and then even then they took forever to dry. Of course, not surprising, but still. And then with some of the of my favorite all-in-ones though, like favorite style all-in-ones for my son, I didn't like because they had snap-in inserts, and it was the same kind of a nuisance with all-in-twos as with these snap-in all-in-ones, where you just, when you do laundry, snap, snap, fold up, button, and so. Some people just throw things in their basket and leave it. My OCD doesn't allow that, okay? So I have to put everything together and then stack them nicely and everything. I can't leave it a big mess in a basket because it literally clutters my brain. I cannot do it. I get mentally sick if I see a basket of laundry laying around. I don't know how people can do that. So putting them together was about just about as actually probably more annoying to me than actually stuffing pocket diapers. I actually found it more annoying. It's just, again, my personal experience and preferences. I don't like it. And by the way, I have a dryer, but it's not hooked up. So dryer isn't even an option for me right now. Everything has to line dry. And I ended up back at Prefolds and covers again. So my son, so ultimately what I love most about Prefolds is they're very easy to learn how to use, and you're shaking the table, sweetie. They're very easy to learn how to use. They're very economic, comparably, especially when you can get something like this and make this work. My son's been wearing these since he was a newborn, and he's now almost 17 months old. And actually, same with this buttons cover that I have. He's been wearing this since he was a newborn. He was a week old when I started putting him in the buttons, because I tried all-in-ones with him as a newborn, and there was no all-in-one that existed that could hold up to his heavy urination. But he's been wearing these since he was about a week old. He's now almost 17 months old, and he still fits in these. They only just fit him, but he still fits in them. So, and he's using them with the Prefolds pad folded inside now, because obviously they don't fit around his waist anymore. But when they did, they fit around his waist until he was about 6 months old and 18 pounds. And I could have continued to use them if I used boingos instead of snappies, or if I got a larger snappy, but I didn't feel like it. So, and I had no success with boingos. Like, I keep hurting like my fingers with those things. So I didn't bother continuing to pin it around his waist, even though I probably could have even longer, especially since by that point he was starting solids and his stools were thickening up, which made it more contained to a pad folded Prefold, and it made the having the rolled in legs and everything a bit unnecessary by that point. So everything really worked out well with the Prefolds. They line dry really quick. When I do laundry, like when I hang them, it's mindless. I don't have to worry about relaxing elastics or anything. I just pin it up, and then I just pin them together across the line, and and when they're dry, I take them down, I fold them in half, and I stack them in the basket. I come upstairs, I lift up the old stack, I put the new stack underneath so that everything stays rotated, and boom, they're done. Same with covers. They just drape over my drying rack because I don't have to worry about the elastics relaxing just by draping them. And I just fold them in half and I stack them in a bin, and they look really nice, and I don't have to do a whole lot of fluff. It's just really easy, quick laundry. And then changing him, especially now that his Prefolds are pad folded and laid in his cover, changing him goes relatively quickly as well. They're very easy to use, very easy to learn how to use. When I did use pocket diapers with my daughter, I would actually interchange the Prefolds with her pocket diapers. So I could use the Prefolds interchangeably with different diapers, so they were pretty versatile within the cloth diapering world. And then I can't even begin to list all the things I use for the Prefolds for beyond cloth diapering. I'm actually going to make a separate video for that with ways you can use Prefolds and flats outside of cloth diapering. There's so many uses for them. They're just so incredibly handy to have and so useful, and they're so effective, and they're economic, and that's why I love them so much. It just works out really, really well. They dry quickly. I line dry. They need to dry quickly and everything, and that's my favorite. It proved to be easiest for us, and bonus points because it's more economic. Now these are Diaper Rite Prefolds, just for the record. And Diaper Rite doesn't make Prefolds anymore, but Buttons sells comparable Prefolds, and so does places like Nikki's Diapers, and I think Imagine, and there might be, Green Mountain Diapers has really excellent Prefolds, I hear. A lot of people love Green Mountain Diapers Prefolds, but they're a little more pricey, but worth it probably, like from what I understand. But yeah, the more squared Prefolds, they fit inside covers really well and they're useful. So anywho, if you are interested in knowing all of those fun extra purposes for Prefolds and with flats, ways you can repurpose them beyond cloth diapering, hit the subscribe button. A video will be coming, I don't know when, and if you hit subscribe, it will tell you when I post it. So if you want to know, you can hit subscribe, give a video a thumbs up if you found anything useful, helpful, or interesting. If you have any questions, if you'd like to see anything, or have it, anything you would like me to discuss, you can leave a comment below. Thanks for watching, and have a lovely day. Say bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
You're adorable.
Yeah.